G'day folks, I'm Wren, they, them, and it is time for April's TBRGate. Now, it's been a little bit since I did TBRGate. I did not do one in March. At the end of February, my darling boy Chopper passed away, and I just kind of gave up on everything for a while there. I did not complete February's TBRGate, and I didn't do one in March. And you know what? I'm going to be kind to myself, and I'm not taking any punishments for not completing that TBR because it was a rough time. It was a really, really rough time. And I'm slowly starting to get back into the swing of things. We're kind of just going to pretend that February didn't happen in regards to the game. So there are 2 readathons happening in April that I would like to participate in. I originally wasn't going to do any, and then Steph from the Novelty Corner posted her announcement for the Tome Infinity and Beyond readathon, and it just looks so fun and cute, and it's all about sci-fi, which I desperately need to get back into because I've just been neglecting my sci-fi for like a year, maybe more. And I really, really want to read my sci-fi books because they sound so interesting. I will leave the link to Steph's announcement down below. Go check it out. It looks really, really cool. I am just going to be doing 2 books per section. So I have 6 books in total, and I'm just gonna leave it at that because any more than that is too much for me. Then the other readathon that I completely forgot about, I participate every year, and that is the 30 and 30, hosted by Izzy from Happy For Now, Shay from Shay Geeks Out, and Ashley from Kidlit and Comics, like the realm of Kidlit and Comics. Something like that. There was a name change. It's 30 and 30, so that is to read 30 volumes of manga in 30 days. Kind of the goal of this is to read more than volume 1. Because a lot of manga readers, we have the issue of we read the first volume and then none of the rest. So I desperately want to participate in that as well. I think there are between 5 and 7 series that I want to make progress in. Got The Way of the House Husband, Our Dreams at Dusk, The Masterful Cat is Depressed Again Today, Assassination Classroom, Dinosaur Sanctuary, Confessions of a Shy Baker, The Fox and Little Tanuki. I think that's all that I want to make progress in. There's probably some others that I've completely forgotten, but yeah, those are the ones I definitely want to make some progress in. So I'm going to be trying to do all of that in April, plus TBRGate. So wish me luck. Alright, so this is how I left the board in February. So for April, we're starting like this. Starting up here, let's do our first roll. 6. So our first one is Cibron with Final Book. Ooh, okay. I'm not sure if I'm up to the final in anything, but I will give it a go. Roll number 2. 12. And we landed on a chevron. So that means character card. This is kind of fun. I have a lot of things I want to read in April, so, you know, if I get a whole bunch... No, let's not put that into the universe. Okay, so character card we got is... It's Dr. Rodney McKay! Woo! One of my faves. Or yeah, he would be number 1 fave. So most anticipated or favorite author. Nice, okay. Alright, let's go for glyph number 2 again. That's a 9. No! Alright, I landed on a hive ship. Okay, so that means 2 books to complete the 1 prompt. Let's hope it's a good prompt. So, prompt is favorite trope. Okay, I have some options there. Alright, glyph number 3. Oops. Ooh, this is the second time I've gotten number 9. 2 of the same number is a self-care prompt, so here's a self-care prompt. There we go. All right, our third one is, ooh, a thriller. Oh my god, that's so good. I'm so in the mood for thrillers lately. All right, number 4. Oops. I love when this happens. For number 4, we got a 4. Ooh, very close. So for this one, we got a standalone. I could figure out something for that. That's good. All right, for glyph number 5, we got 11. And that's another chevron, so another character card. I was just thinking, oh, I'm going to get through this without any more chevrons. So silly of me. Alright, next character card is, oh, it's Colonel Stephen Caldwell. So you'd have a male author or a non-fiction. Okay, I will figure that out. Alright, let's go for glyph number 5 again. We have 7. Very close. So next we have a 5-star prediction. Ooh, very nice. Okay, I have to figure out what I think is a 5-star prediction. Okay. Alright, 2 more glyphs to go. Let's see if I can do it. That's a 12, and that is my second 12. So that means another self-care prompt. I swear I always get 2. Like, ever since I introduced the self-care prompts, I've gotten 2 every round. No! No! Another hive ship. Well, I mean, it was bound to happen sooner or later. Alright, so for this hive ship, I need 2 friend picks. Oh, okay. Oh, that's so terrifying. Okay, 2 friend picks. Alright, well, will hopefully be our last roll. Yes. And it's a 1, which would suck, except I've already gotten that. So, reroll. That is 17. And we end on what we started on. I do kind of love when that happens. There's something very, like, what is the word, serendipitous about that? Okay, so our last prompt is a middle grade. Oh, lovely, love a good middle grade. Now let's go see what I picked. The first glyph that I landed on was Cibron, with the episode for that being The Prodigal, and the prompt for that being a final book. I went back and forth between what I should put as my final book, but I settled on Our Dreams at Dusk Volume 4, which is currently sitting at the library waiting for me to go pick it up. Whoopsie doopsie. But this is the 4th and final book in this little manga series that is devastating. In like the best way. I love this manga series so far. It's very, very queer, and it's kind of hard to describe what it's about, but it's kind of about a bunch of queer people finding a safe space in this, I don't know, like community house kind of thing. It really is about these queer people finding a safe space together, and in particular this young boy who at the beginning of volume 1 was kind of coming to terms with the fact that he's gay, and he finds sanctuary at this place and finds like-minded people, and they really help him on his journey to self-acceptance. And then later on he tries to help other kids feel safe in their queerness as well. And I'm very much looking forward to the 4th volume, because it looks like a wedding from the cover, and because this is the last volume, I'm like, there are so many things that need to be wrapped up, so I don't know how they're gonna wrap it all up in 1 volume, but I'm very much looking forward to this. So next up, I landed on a chevron, because of course I did, and the character card I got for that was Dr. Rodney McKay, my favorite character. And the 2 prompts that I could choose for him were most anticipated or favorite author. I'm gonna go with most anticipated because I really need to read my NetGalley books. Did I choose my most anticipated that I got accepted for? Nope. I did not. We're going with the next most anticipated, and that is Big Name Fan by Ruthie Knox. I am so keen for this because when I looked up the synopsis for it, when I put it in my like 25 queer releases of 2025, I remember thinking that it sounded just like Rizzoli and Isles. So I'm really, really keen to pick this one up. This is about two actresses. They played detectives on TV and, you know, everyone shipped them together. And I think maybe they shipped the actresses, I can't quite remember. But then the show ended, everyone was really upset, and now these two actresses are coming together to, like, I think they're doing a like remake, and rumors are flying again, and, you know, people want these two characters to get together, and I think the actresses get together. So that could be really fun. It's gonna be hard for me not to picture Jane Rizzoli and Maura Isles in this. It's gonna be a good time, I'm sure. And then I landed on a Hive ship. Again, because of course I did. But it's good. I do want to land on these Hive ships because I would love to have a clear board. And I don't think that's going to happen, but I would really like it to. So I landed on Allura with the episode for that being the hot zone and the prompt for that being my favorite trope. So because I landed on a Hive, I have to pick 2 books to fulfill this one prompt. I really struggled with this because I didn't want to keep adding more and more books to my TBR, and I was like, what do I already know that I'm reading that I could consider a favorite trope? Because whenever I hear the words favorite trope, I always go to found family and fake dating, but I have so many other favorite tropes. So the one I'm going for this is let's say like soul collecting, or like taking someone's soul, something to do with the soul, right? Because I want to read Light from Uncommon Stars by Rika Aoki. This I'm also reading for Tome Infinity and Beyond, and I have heard really good things about this, but not for a while. Like, this was really hyped when it was first released, and this is a sci-fi about someone who made a deal with the devil, and to get rid of that curse they have to steal, was it 7? Yeah, she must entice 7 other violin prodigies to trade their souls for success. She's already delivered 6. She's just found her next victim, if you will, but then she seems to meet someone at a donut shop, which is adorable. She gets a crush on this person. So yeah, it seems like, I don't know if it would be cozy, but it kind of almost seems cozy vibes with like a dark twist, which I am here for. But yeah, soul stealing, it's a good time for me. And then the next favorite trope, I definitely stretched this, but I love when animals are kind of the focus, right? And whether it's like people caring for animals, or it's like an animal main character, you know, when animals take the focus, I'm probably gonna have a good time. And yeah, I stretched the hell out of that, but let me have this, please. So I'm going to read Dinosaur Sanctuary Volume 5 by Itaru Kinoshita. This is about dinosaurs have been brought back from extinction, and they are now being kept in zoos, you know, not amusement parks, and we just follow the zookeepers taking care of them. It's a really cool manga series. I enjoy it a lot. Yeah, it's just a good time. I stretched the hell out of it, but I'm taking it. The next glyph I landed on was Poco Ray, with the episode for that being Tabula Rasa, and the prompt for that being a thriller. When I first got this prompt, I was like, oh my god, yes, I love this. I'm so in the mood for thrillers. And then I looked at my thriller shelf and I was like, I don't want to read a single one of you. But luckily, I already had an audiobook out from the library for a thriller, so I'm just gonna read that. And that is As Good as Dead by Holly Jackson. This is the 3rd and final book in the A Good Girl's Guide to Murder series. I have really been loving this series, and I did not think I would. Like, I read the first one assuming I would unhaul it, and it was a 5-star, and I loved it, and I have just been like eating up the series ever since. And so this is the last one I have to read, and I'm very excited. In this one, it seems we're following a stalker, and I think our main character is getting stalked. Yeah, so there's someone who keeps asking her online anonymously, who will look for you when you're the one that's disappeared, which is interesting. I'm keen to see how they weave that into a story that is similar enough to the first 2, where, like, you know, Pip is solving a crime, but she is kind of the crime this time. So I think it'll be interesting. It should be good. I love Pip and Ravi, so as long as they are on page, I'll be having a good time. The next glyph I landed on was Gilton, and the episode for that is the Defiant one, with the prompt being a standalone. For this, I've chosen The Cybernetic Tea Shop by Meredith Katz. This is a queer sci-fi novella that I have wanted to read for years. Do I still remember what it's about? No. So we have an AI repair technician who is kind of a nomad, and then we have a fully autonomous robot, and I think they fall for each other? They meet by chance, but as they start spending time together, they both begin to wrestle with the idea of moving on. So it could be interesting. I just like the fact that, you know, we get a robot and like a repair technician. I think that's a really cool dynamic. I know I'm like never giving good synopses of books, but that's not what you're here for, right? And then I got another chevron, and this time we have Colonel Stephen Caldwell. I love him. He's such like a grumpy old man, but he's a good time. So the prompts for Caldwell were either male author or non-fiction. And you know what? The little overachiever that I sometimes am, I went for both. So I'm going to read Adam Kay's Undoctored, the story of a medic who ran out of patience. This is the third book that Adam Kay has released. So he used to be a doctor in England, and he worked on the labour and delivery ward. And in the first one, you know, we're kind of going through him as a junior doctor, and all of the notes and just shit that he had to go through is what like he retells that in book form. And then at the end of that one, something like life-changing happens to him. And this is kind of going on from that, on what he does now that he's no longer a doctor, as well as trying to heal from the trauma of A, being a doctor, and B, that event that happened. And it's still told in his humorous way, and it's still just a very, very fun time. I did start reading this back oh, it's been a year. Yeah. April 19th is the date on this plane ticket, because I went to Melbourne for the Comedy Fest and he was performing that, so I went and saw him perform and got it signed, which was super duper cool. And I remember reading this like before his show, like there was like 15 minutes before his show started, so I started reading this, and the only thing I had in my bag that could be used as a bookmark was my boarding pass. But I got to page 102, so chapter 9, so I just want to finish this off. But I was having a really good time while I was reading this. Like, don't take me stopping for a year as a bad sign. It was really good, amazing. I just struggled with physical reading for a while, but I'm getting back on with physical reading and it's a fun time, so I really want to finish this. The next glyph I landed on was Denami, with the episode for that being The Intruder, and the prompt for that being a 5-star prediction. I actually struggled with this because I look at my shelves all the time and I'm like, what do I think will actually be a 5-star? Could not tell you. Could I have looked at a previous 5-star prediction video that I did? Sure could have. Did I? No. Do I think this will be a 5-star? I don't know, but the me of like 3 months ago would have said yes, so I'm going with it. So that is volume 6 of A Masterful Cat is Depressed Again Today by Hitsuzi Yamada. I have really loved this series up until now. It's been a great time, but since Chopper, it's been difficult to read about domestic animals. And this being a cat, I've really gone off cat manga in the past couple months, so I don't know, but I'm hoping that I will enjoy this just as much as I have previously, because this is about a cat that is not your typical cat. It's like 6 feet tall, it cooks, it cleans, it can understand human speech. It can't speak, but it can kind of communicate, and it takes care of its human, which is very, very sweet. This is just a like good vibes kind of story. There's no real plot except the human kind of sucks at life and the cat takes care of it. It has been a really cute time, so I'm hoping that I will continue to like this, but who knows with how I've been feeling lately. And then I landed on another hive ship. So that is another 2 books that I need for this prompt. So I landed on Rohi, and the episode for that is Reunion, with the prompt being a friend pick. So I went to the Thick Thighs chat and I asked all 3 of them to pick books for me. Meredith just was like, I know you really needed 2, so I'm just gonna say read a picture book, without telling me which picture book she wanted me to read. Naughty, naughty. So Sasha picked To Catch a Firefly by Emmy Sanders. I had never heard of this. When I looked up the synopsis, I was like, oh, this looks like it's probably gonna make me cry. I'm in. I love devastating contemporary romances. So this is queer, which always a good time for me. It says, there's a lot I've never told my best friend. The fact that I love him, that I miss him every day he's gone, that sometimes I ache for him with a ferocity that leaves me breathless. Lucky tore into my life as a boy, wild and daring, my opposite in every way. He drew me in, stole my heart without trying. He hears me, even though I rarely speak a word, but I always knew this place wouldn't be enough for my free-spirited friend. So why, when I finally try to get over him, does he sweep back into town? Why is he upset? Why is there tension between us for the first time in years? We'll stop it there, cause that sounds very good. My heart already hurts just reading that. Whew. It's gonna be a good time, I think, for me. And then Erin's pick was Prophet by Sin Blush. I don't know how to pronounce that name, I'm so sorry. And Helen MacDonald. This, again, a book I'd never heard of, but reading it, I was like, oh, hell yes. Again, my friends know me well. This is a tantalizing adventure fusing noir, sci-fi, and a slow burn queer romance. Set in a universe just one perilous step from our own. Adam and Sunil have been reluctant partners since their Uzbekistan days. Adam is a seemingly unflappable American intelligence officer, and Sunil is an ex-MI6 agent, with the uncanny ability to discern the truth of things, about everyone and everything other than Adam. When an American diner turns up in a foggy field in the UK after a mysterious death, Adam and Sunil are called in to investigate, setting into motion the most dangerous and otherworldly mission of their lives. In a surreal action-packed quest that takes Adam and Sunil from secret laboratories in Colorado to a luxury lodge in Aspen to the remote Nevada desert, the pair begins to uncover how and why people's fondest memories are being weaponized against them by an ever-shifting substance called Prophet. I'ma leave it there. That sounds so intriguing. But thank you so much to Erin and Sasha for providing books for me to read, and I am very keen to get to both of these. So the last glyph that I landed on was CTAS, with the episode for that being Childhood's End and the prompt being a middle grade. So this was the glyph that I landed on for the last spot in February, and the book I chose for that was the first in the series, so I'm just gonna go for the second in that series, and that is The Great River Rescue by Brooke Scobie and Jade Goodwin, which is number 2 in Yarn Quest. These are very, very tiny Indigenous stories, and I did really enjoy the first one. It was a fun time. 3 brave kids take on dangerous powers to save a dying world. P has always had a special connection to water. Rivers are P's safe place, where almost everything makes sense. But now the Great River is sick and desperately needs P's help. But how can a regular kid save a whole river, let alone an entire magical realm? And what kind of greedy world destroys its own environment and poisons its water? Oh wait, that's pretty good. P, Sybil, and Tane have crossed the bridge into the story realm and into the wildest adventure of their lives. It sounds like a fun time, and yeah, I did really enjoy the first one. These are like 120 pages, and like, you know, very big writing. It won't take me long to read these, and they're really fun. So, looking forward to this one. So that is all the books to read, but I did get 2 self-care prompts this month, which I seem to get 2 every single time. Did I pre-plan what I was going to do for self-care? No. Do I know what I'm going to do for self-care now? Also, no. Okay, one self-care thing. I'm going to go get my eyelashes done because I've been really intrigued by, what is it, an eyelash lift or something, where like, you know, they just curl your lashes. My niece, for her graduation, she got a eyelash lift and tint. It seemed to go really well for her, so I think I'm gonna give that a go. And then self-care number 2. I don't know, I really suck at self-care. I'm good at taking care of other people, not so much myself, which is why these self-care prompts are so important, because I need to take care of myself. Maybe for another self-care prompt, I can take myself on a solo date. Yeah, I always love solo dates. I think they're great. It's basically just, you know, going to do a thing on your own. So I really want to do that. I think I might go to an art exhibition that I know is happening. There is also a market happening that I would like to go to. So maybe I'll do that, or I'll do something else. Who knows? If you have any suggestions for self-care prompts, please put them down below, because clearly I need help. Alright, so that is going to be it for April's TBRGate. Please let me know if you've read any of these books. I would love to know your thoughts on them. And yeah, help me out with the self-care prompts. I desperately need it. But thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next one. Bye!